Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista. I am just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, trying to figure out my day today. I have a couple projects that I want to get done, but I'm just trying to figure out the order of how I want to do them. I'm at my computer because I am going to try to get some of my actual 9 to 5 work done before I do the projects, but I really wanted to start the projects a little bit earlier in the day because I find that that's when I'm the most productive. So I think what I'm going to do is just do maybe about a half an hour of my work, like my job. Then once I'm done that, I think I'm going to take you guys out with me to go and pick up some milk and cream. I need to get a project done today that I really didn't want to try to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have checked out a couple of grocery stores and the shelves are completely empty for this one particular item that I am looking for. Not only that, but I've tried to order it on Azure Standard this will be now the fourth month I've tried to order it, and they say they're in stock, but about a week before my order actually closes, it goes out of stock and it's out of stock for usually about 2 to 3 weeks. The item I'm talking about is cottage cheese. We went to Walmart the other day and the whole cottage cheese section was empty, like completely empty. No low fat, no full fat, nothing. It was just empty. And then we went to another store and I think they only had like maybe 3 containers left and it was like a low fat and I don't necessarily like low fat. I love to have cottage cheese with fruit and I have some cut up cantaloupe in the fridge that we bought last week at the Amish and I'm just craving to have it with some cottage cheese. So today we're going to make our own cottage cheese. I have made ricotta cheese in the past and it has worked really, really well. It's not the same consistency as the store-bought, but then when I found this cottage cheese recipe, it looked very, very similar to the way that I made the ricotta. So I thought, why not give it a try? I need absolutely no special ingredients to make it. The one thing that I am doing, the recipe doesn't state it, but I am doing it, is I am letting my milk kind of come down from temperature. I just took it out of the fridge. So we are just going to do a small batch of cottage cheese. So I have maybe about 3/4 gallon there, not quite a full gallon. I believe the recipe that I'm using calls for half gallon. So we'll just tweak some of the stuff. Really, really easy to do. So I'm going to get some work done and then we are going to head to the post office because I have to drop a couple packages off. I am very, 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 very blessed where I live. I am approximately maybe 30 minutes away from this dairy, and this dairy actually provides milk to the Whole Foods in Nashville. I believe they have a whole bunch of suppliers also in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But just pretty much all of the upper Tennessee area all sells this milk. It's not a raw milk. They heat it at a very, very low temperature. So it does retain a lot of its really good beneficial nutrients. So it's very, very close to glasses. The cricket. I need to go get my glasses fixed. I went and actually got my glasses um, fixed because I got them at Sam's Club and they fixed it. But what happened when they fixed it, because these are plastic glasses, they actually have to heat them to make them squish a little bit more. Anyways, they ended up making them crooked and now they kind of sit on my head lopsided. Anyways, the milk is really good. It's heated very, very low, so it's very close to a raw milk and has its healthy benefits. So I love getting the milk there. It's probably more expensive than a grocery store milk, but I know where I'm getting it from. I can actually go and tour their plant. Once a year, they have a tour where you can go in. It's a family day that they put on at this dairy. I think it's actually coming up next month. If I can find the information, I will leave it linked in the video description. So if you are kind of close to me, like in the Tennessee, Kentucky area, you are more than welcome to come to this dairy and do a tour and see how they do their milk. Anyways, we'll head there once I've done my work. This is me procrastinating, just talking to you guys. So let me get this stuff done so that we can go about our day. So the first thing that we have to do is get our milk jugs. I can do this one-handed. So this company or this store, this is where we're going, JD Country Milk. They they have a thing where you have to pay a deposit for the jugs. Shoot, I actually need one more of these because I want to pick up 3 whole milks today. I'll just bring one of these and swap it for that. So you pay a deposit when you first get your milk, and then you get the glass jar, and then all you do is just return these, and then you don't have to pay a deposit again. So I'm going to bring these ones because I want to get 3 whole milks, and I want to get a buttermilk and a couple of different creams. So we'll put these in the car, and we'll head to the post office first. I always forget to shut the front door. And today I actually said to myself, did I shut it? So we'll shut the front door first. We actually have a home security system, but I prefer not to leave, advertising. Come on in, we're open. We'll shut the door today. Okay, let's head into the post office. It's busy today. I turned the camera off in there because it was a little bit busy, and I don't mind being on camera, but some people don't like it. So we got that package dropped off. We are going to head to the milk place now. Get that done. Sometimes, and lately, they have been out of stock of their cream, and I love their heavy cream there. They're usually good for their milk. It's kind of a risky thing going to the dairy because sometimes they're out of stock of stuff, and it is a 30-minute drive away. I mean, if you live in a big city, 30 minutes probably isn't a big deal for you. It probably takes you 30 minutes to get from one side of your town to the other side, or even halfway through your town. But I live in a small town that literally takes me, a couple minutes to go down to the post office. And I mean, we don't have a lot of things in our small little town, but still a 30-minute car ride for me. It's taking 30 minutes to get there and 30 minutes to get home. So that's an hour out of my day that I could be doing projects. We'll get there, and hopefully they will have everything in stock. I'm seeing so many garage sale signs, and it is taking all I have to pull down the street and go to the garage sales because I have to do projects today. We need to get the cottage cheese done. The other thing I have sitting on my counter is I am going to attempt to smoke a roast today in my smoker. It's not a brisket, it's not a tri-tip, it's actually a rump roast. And I was going to do a roast beef with it, but I thought, no, I want to smoke it. I have the smoker out because yesterday I was doing the experiment and I'm trying to make my own turkey bacon. So I'm trying a couple of different recipes to see which one we like the best because we raise our own turkeys, so we have a whole bunch of turkey meat available to us. And for us, that's a really, really good way to save money is to try to make our own bacon versus going and buying pork bacon from the store. Because even if I go to the butcher and buy a pork belly, that is probably going to be one of the more expensive cuts of meat because everybody loves bacon, us included. That, and I actually prefer to use turkey as well. I am not a huge fan of pork. I do love bacon, and I have heard that you can make brisket bacon, so with beef, but brisket is a very expensive part of beef, and beef is getting to be very, very expensive lately. So I am really trying to find ways to kind of save us money and use what we have available instead of having to outsource and buy, more beef. We're here, but there's quite a bit of activity going on. So I am going to try to get some footage in here, but this is the little shop. This is what I was talking about. They are having an open house. So I will leave this information below in the video description for you guys. Here's the coolers. We're going to get some of this. Let's just check the date. All right, October the 5th. So we're going to get 3 of these. And then we are going to get... they don't have any full cream, so we'll get a couple things of half and half. And then we'll get a buttermilk. And then that's their prices right there. It's really cool because you can tap and pay here. But they have other things. They have eggs, and their chocolate milk is so delicious. Open it up so you can see.
really, really good. They have other options than whole milk. Like you have 2% option, and then this one is just the skim milk. They have lots of stuff. I'm actually looking for some skirt steak, so I'm going to see if they have any here. So they have a cooler of chicken and different meat, but I'm looking for a certain cut. Chuck roast. Skirt. I don't see it. They have pork sausage, bacon. Oh, is that it over there? I wonder if that's it. Let's check. Let's see how much the bacon is. That's $8. Is this skirt steak right? Yeah, tenderized steak. That's what we're looking for. $16.50. Wow.
All right, we're gonna head home. They're loading up a truck with deliveries right now, so it's a little congested. I didn't want to pay $16.50 for some skirt steak. I don't even know if that's a good deal. We get half of a cow at a time, so I don't know what individual prices are like at the store. And I'm just wanting to make some carne asada, and I need to get a skirt steak or like a tenderized steak. So I might try to make the carne asada just with some sirloin steak instead. Just again, make do with what you have. We have some sirloin steak, so I'll try to use that. We are back home, got my apron on now because I'm not going to be going out anywhere, and we're going to get some projects done. So my very first project that I have to do is I need to get this meat in the smoker. So I want to get this meat in the smoker, but then I realized I have no seasoning blend. So I am going to make a copycat version of the, what is it called? Kinder's Cowboy Butter. So I'm going to try to make my own. I have heard that people love this Kinder stuff. I never actually bought any of it because I looked at the ingredients one time and was not happy with some of the stuff that they put in it. So we're going to make our own. I have heard that this is supposed to be literally spot on to the original one. We're going to do it in the spice grinder. That way we can get a nice fine powder like the Kinder's has. We're going to season our meat with that. So I got my mustard out to go on the roast. Hopefully it'll all fit in here. Let's make it in a bowl first. That way if we have to do it in batches, we can. All right, to start we need 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. You can use a stevia replacement if you want for that. 1 tablespoon of parsley. I am using all dried herbs to make this, so no fresh herbs in this. Because this is going to be shelf stable, you want to make sure you're using dried herbs. 1 tablespoon of chives, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Ooh, this is going to be spicy. And then half a teaspoon of dried mustard powder. And we'll stir this together, and then we're going to add it to our spice grinder so that we can get a powder consistency. I want it powdery so that it goes on the roast really nicely. If I like this, I may end up like tripling this and then just having this as an all-purpose seasoning. Okay, let's get it in the spice grinder. I don't actually use this coffee grinder to grind any coffee. This I bought just strictly to do my herbs in it, so I don't have to worry about my coffee tasting like cowboy, what is it called? Cowboy butter. This also probably would taste really, really delicious if you did like a compound butter with it. I think that's what it's called. When you take a butter and you put seasoning in it, that would taste delicious with that butter. The last minute project is done. Ooh, I can smell the smoker. Okay, so I'm gonna get some mustard put on this roast. This is just a rump roast that I'm using that the butcher actually already tied up in a string. So I'm just gonna put the seasonings over top of the string. It should be fine. I'm trying to keep one hand clean because I need to put more mustard on this side.
Okay, and then we'll take our, whoa, seasoning. It's a little bit too much on that side. Just try to coat the roast with it. Let's go and get this on the smoker after I wash my hands. Get the meat in here. I am gonna put it on maybe this shelf. The door is kind of hot. There we go. It's all in the smoker. So I just have this sitting on a smoke. So I'm gonna let this get nice and infused with that smoke flavor. And then probably in a couple of hours, I'll come out and I'll turn it to 225 and then let it slow roast for probably a couple of hours. And then check the internal temperature and make sure that it's cooked. And then I don't know what I'm gonna serve this with. Maybe some corn, and then I don't know what side. Maybe some potatoes? I'm not sure. All right, we got supper on the cooker now. Let me just get the leftover stuff, that leftover seasoning blend. Get it put in here. So I just labeled the jar. I'm gonna put a reusable lid on it. And then this will store in the cabinet. Just use it like I would the regular seasoning blend. Time to make the cottage cheese. I'm excited to do this. I'm gonna get my phone because that's where I got the recipe. I have left the recipe linked below for you guys in the video description. Just gonna let you know ahead of time that there is a lot of advertising on it. It's like you gotta scroll through 100 ads to get to it. I'm gonna link a different recipe because that one didn't actually have the measurements in it. And honestly, it was just pretty much spam the whole recipe. I couldn't even find the directions from all of the advertising. So I'm gonna link a different recipe for you guys. And the recipe that I am using says to use half a gallon of milk, which I thought it was. So we're just gonna use about 3/4 of a gallon. So a little bit more than that. So we're gonna just change our vinegar ratio. So to make the cottage cheese, you wanna make sure you're using a full fat. It makes for a lot creamier cottage cheese. I guess you could use like a lower fat, but I don't think it would work as well. And the one thing I love about getting my milk from this place, you can't really see it now because it's at room temperature, but usually the milk has a cream line on it. Love it. Love, love, love it. And I'm excited that you guys know where it is now. So if you're in this area, you can just bypass going to like Whole Foods or the grocery store, and you could go right to them and just purchase your milk. Let's get this milk added in here. And these are half-gallon containers. Might need to stir this top because of the cream layer. Like, look at this thick cream on top. Oh, so good. It prevents the milk from coming out sometimes. You want to make sure you're using a heavy bottom stock pot to do this. That way you're not going to scald your milk. So we don't want to get this milk too hot. We want to bring it around like 130, 140. You just want to get it to like a nice light boil, kind of like a simmer, but you definitely don't want to have it to a hard boil because that's going to scald your milk. I have my thermometer here, so we're going to just keep checking the temperature. It's going to take a while. It is cold, but it's not like out of the refrigerator cold. That's why I was letting it sit at room temperature for a little bit to kind of speed up this process. I'm also going to get my vinegar measured out before we need it, because that way I'm not just standing over measuring the vinegar. It suggests to use 6 tablespoons of vinegar. If you do not have a white vinegar, you can use lemon juice in this as well. That is for half a gallon. We're gonna do 9 tablespoons of vinegar because we're using 3/4 of a gallon. So we'll add 9 tablespoons to this. Let's check the temperature and see. I'm trying not to whisk the bottom because I know that's a really annoying sound. Who's here? FedEx is here. Oh, that's my thing. Okay, let's check the temperature. You know what? I think it's actually almost where we need it to be. That was very, very quick. So we're at 143. Now there's conflicting information on the recipes. The one recipe says 130 degrees and the other recipe says 190. So I'm thinking 190 is going to be a little hot for milk, like almost to the point of scalding it.
So I think we might be at a good point, but I'm not seeing any boiling. So maybe we'll get it a little bit warmer. Oh, I'm feeling it sticking a little bit to the bottom though, so maybe that is good. There's bubbles on it, but there's bubbles because I'm whisking it. Do we lean towards the 190? I'm so sorry about the scratching noises, but I have to keep whisking it. That way it doesn't burn on the bottom. 167 or 68. Okay, I think we'll risk it and we'll go to the 190. FedEx just came with a package for me, or Stephen, one of us. I am waiting for my new solar panel for my fence. Our solar panel is about 5 years old, and unfortunately the battery isn't working very well anymore. It's not keeping a charge. I had to order a new solar charger and battery from Premier One Fencing, so I'm just waiting for that to come. And I just got a notice that it was out for delivery, so I don't know. Probably not that. My guess is it's another car part that Steven's ordered, but I don't want to check right now because with my luck, I will burn the milk. I actually think we're at a good point. Let's get it off the heat. And then we're going to take our vinegar and we're going to stir our vinegar in. If you're using lemon juice, you want to stir that in also. And you just want to make sure that you get it in all of the mixture. I don't know if you can see, but it's already starting to separate. So I'm just gonna try to mix all that vinegar in. You see it's already starting to form curds on it. We're gonna cover the pot up and we are gonna leave this for about 30 minutes for all of the curds to separate, and after the 30 minutes we'll come back and we'll move to the next step. Meanwhile, let's go and see what the package is. Yay, the package is for me. It's not a solar panel, definitely not a solar panel, but I know what this is. It is from Etsy. They packaged it up very, very good. This is a project that I am going to probably do tomorrow because I'm still waiting for my vitamin E oil. I ordered some 100% chamomile. I'll just show you what it says here. I ordered some of this stuff, some of this stuff right here. My hope with this is to actually make some micellar water. I think that's how you say it. Again, I'll leave it below because I'm not pronouncing it correctly. But my goal is to make some face toner, essentially like face cleaner, like non-soap face cleaner. I use this stuff that I buy on Etsy, and for a small little bottle, it's $20. It's an all natural kind of face toner cleaner. So I'm going to attempt to make my own. So this is one of the main ingredients in it. And if you buy this on Etsy, you can buy this for the same price that I can buy the done product with, that is like this small of a container. I'm going to experiment and try to make my own stuff. Well, it has been definitely over 30 minutes. I got distracted doing some more work. So we're going to move to the next step now. It's probably been about an hour. I am going to get a strainer, and I also need to get some cheesecloth, and we're going to get a stainless steel bowl. So I don't have cheesecloth, but I have some muslin cloth, so we're going to use that. It will work. And we're going to put our strainer over our bowl. Put the muslin cloth here. Moment of truth. Let's see what this looks like. Looks good. So although it's been an hour, this is still really warm. So we're gonna take this and we're going to strain it out. This is looking like it's almost a small curd cottage cheese. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just moving it around. I want to get some of this whey out. Now I am going to add something back to this because this is just, you know, when you have cottage cheese, it's kind of in a cream substance. So we're going to add some more cream back to this just so that it has something to sit in, but I don't want to dry it out too much. So we'll just take this like this and just squeeze it a little bit, all the whey we have left. Yummy. This stuff is really good. You can use that whey to make a whole bunch of stuff. I have heard it's really, really delicious if you add it in bread. So the recipe says, depending on how much moisture you want in your cottage cheese, you can let this drain over top of the bowl for like another 5 to 10 minutes. But I want my cottage cheese to be creamier and a lot of moisture. That's how I like it. I don't like it too dry. So we're going to move to the next step without letting it do its final drain. I already did the squeeze, so that's fine. I'm going to turn my water on to cold. I just washed some dishes, so it's hot. We're going to take our cottage cheese still in this because you don't want to take it out because it'll all fall through the bottom. And you want to rinse it off with some cold water. And as I'm rinsing it off, I'm also breaking up the curds into smaller curds because some of them are in big chunks. Just breaking it up a bit. And then just take the edges of it. And you just want to give it a little squeeze. We have our bowl. We're going to take our cottage cheese and we're going to put it in the bowl. So we got our cheese in here. I'm just breaking it up a little bit with the back of the spoon. Now this is really, really dry cheese. I don't want my cottage cheese to be like that. I want to have some moisture in here. So I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of some heavy cream. If you don't have cream, you can use sour cream or you could just use regular milk. I'm going to add 1/4 cup and see how that is. I might add another 1/4 cup. You can add about a 1/2 cup to it. Yeah, that's still not creamy enough. Now, if you want this salt-free, you can leave it salt-free, but I'm going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to mine. And we're going to stir that in also. I'm going to add a little bit more cream because I did more than 1/2 gallon of milk. I'm going to do a little taste test. You do want to let this chill about an hour in the fridge before it tastes, you know, more like cottage cheese. That is really, really, really good. Super excited. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to add just a touch bit more whey back to this just to make it a little bit more moisture. It's a little dry and I don't want to keep adding cream to it. Whoops, that might have been a little bit too much. There we go. That is better. I'm actually going to add a little bit more salt to that. Needs a touch bit more salt. I am super happy that that turned out. We have cottage cheese. Yay! Another thing that we have mastered that we don't have to worry about if the grocery store shelves are empty. We can make our own. We can do it. Yes. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will come back at the end of the video and I will show you what that roast looks like coming out of the smoker because I have my kitchen window open right now and all that I can smell is the smell of smoke coming in the house and it smells amazing. Like really, really amazing. So I can't wait to have that for supper tonight. So again, I'll come back and show you guys. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys. I just checked the internal temperature and it is reading 130. So we're going to pull it at this point because it's completely cooked. I did come out and turn this off of the smoke feature and turned it on to about 225 and got it cooking. So we're going to take it off now. Look at that. I cannot wait to cut into this thing. It's not even 5 o'clock yet, so we're not going to eat this early. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful roast. I'm going to cover it really loosely with some tin foil and just let it sit on the counter. And then we should be ready to eat in about an hour or so. Last night for supper, I made a ravioli bake. So we have some of that left over. So we're going to do that as a side and then either some corn or some salad on the side with that. So super excited for supper tonight. It smells amazing. So I think I really like that Kinder's spice blend that we made together. So yay for supper. Today was a very, very good day. And thanks again, guys, for joining me. Bye.